Hi, and welcome to 3 Things in 3 Minutes. I'm Nersi. Today we are talking about Cryptid from Osprey Games. It plays 3 to 5 players and it plays in 30 to 50 minutes, but that can vary a bit depending on the complexity that you choose and how good you are at a deduction, because this is a logic deduction puzzle. Everyone plays a player who's trying to figure out where a cryptid or this elusive creature exists on this map. Everyone gets one rule, and the home habitat of that cryptid follows everybody's rules. And when you combine them all together, there's only one space on the board that can follow all of those rules. So throughout the course of the game, you're going to be making guesses and asking other players whether the cryptid can live in a particular space to try to figure out their rules, while at the same time trying to limit how much information you give away when asked questions, so that you don't give away your rules. Things I like about this game, this is at its core a very strong, simple logic puzzle. Yes, there's a theme about a cryptid. That doesn't really matter. This is just a logic game, and if you like doing that kind of logic deduction puzzle, you will really enjoy this game. And especially even though the game can be a little bit brain-burning, it's really interesting to see how quickly everyone's understanding of the clues comes together, and it can happen that everyone figures it out almost at the same time, and so there really can be this race at the end to be the first person to figure it out. Also, the game does require some setup because there has to be some logic to what the cryptid's habitat is, but the game has a lot of different options and good ways in the setup of these setup cards to hide the information so that you can't tell what other people's clues are. And the game also does have a website where you can do the setup of the game, and it'll walk you through it, and it's a lot easier. But I do appreciate that the game doesn't rely on the website, so that if you don't have access to it, you can still set it up using the components in the game. A few points to consider about this game: you're going to need to take notes. I actually sort of wish the game had a way of keeping track of which clues, because there's actually a predefined possibility of what the clues can be. A way to keep track of which ones are or are not going to be right. You're going to need to keep track of things because there's a lot to consider. And because there's a lot to consider, it can really slow down the turns while people are staring at the board and trying to figure out what the possible clues can be. And there can be just these times where everyone's just sort of staring intently and not a whole lot is happening, and that can slow it down a bit. It also does take some familiarity with the game to really recognize, okay, these are the possible clues. How can I give information away without making it too obvious? So you'll become better the more you play, as the more familiar with the clues. But at the same time, you're solving the same kind of puzzle every time, so it does suffer from a little bit of sameness. So in summary, it is a really interesting brain-burning logic puzzle with a lot of potential setups. It does require you taking plenty of notes, and you have to balance familiarity with the gameplay getting old. Thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe.